Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something fascinating. We're looking at this collision of two very different worlds. You've got Amazon, the giant of efficiency and logistics, and then you've got Web3, all volatile and driven by scarcity. Yeah, our mission today is basically to unpack the Boximus phenomenon. That's Amazon's really direct jump into NFTs, partnering up with Yuga Labs, the Bored Ape people, Otherside, Metaverse. We've sifted through a whole stack of sources, crypto publications, but also the big names like The Verge, CoinDesk, Bloomberg. We're trying to figure out if this Boximus thing was just like a one-off collectible success, or if it's actually showing us what's next for e-commerce 3.0 maybe. Okay, let's just dive in. Amazon, the company built on selling everything cheaply and quickly. They just sold out a batch of digital avatars based on their delivery boxes, Neelis, and they were gone in under 24 hours. I mean, that alone. What's your immediate take on that initial fact?
It's the subversion, right? That's what jumps out. Amazon's whole model is about, volume, abundance. And here they are playing the scarcity game and winning on a huge consumer stage for the first time, really. That sellout speed, all the sources confirm it. It just proves there's still real appetite for digital identity when it's tied to a massive brand. But the key was how they did it, the execution.
Right. Let's zero in on that execution, the specifics. So the asset was called Boximus, these kind of croaky digital Amazon boxes.
Anthropomorphic, yeah. Little box characters.
Exactly. And priced at $65.99 each, which, I mean, that's a key detail, isn't it? Super accessible compared to typical Yuga-related stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Totally a different ballpark. And, a lot of the early analysis focused on the revenue, like how much did they make? But I think that misses the point entirely.
How so?
Well, that $65.99, it wasn't really the price of the NFT. It felt more like the price of admission to a massive customer acquisition experiment.
Ah, interesting angle. So low price equals low risk for the average Joe.
Precisely. It makes it an impulse buy, almost. Amazon gets tons of people buying in, and they get to watch this huge demand curve form in real time, all because they deliberately made it scarce but cheap.
I have to say, when I first read about digital cardboard boxes selling out, I was skeptical. Was it real excitement for Boximus itself, or just, Amazon's algorithm doing its thing, FOMO on a massive scale?
The sources suggest it's a mix, and that's exactly why the data is so valuable to Amazon. It was definitely designed to spark that speculative buzz, yes. But critically, they sold it directly on Amazon.com.
Right, using the normal checkout.
Exactly. That builds instant trust. People weren't fiddling with crypto wallets or anything complex. So Amazon got this incredibly valuable de-risked data set on how willing mainstream consumers are to buy a digital good directly without needing crypto first. That direct sale, integrated seamlessly, that's the game changer. People have been saying the NFT market's been quiet, maybe dead.
Yeah, for the last year or so.
But Boximus suggests maybe the problem wasn't the idea of NFTs, but the clumsy infrastructure, the difficulty.
Yep.
Amazon just swooped in, provided the trust, the easy on-ramp, and boom, sell out.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. The partnership. Why Yuga Labs? I mean, Amazon's Amazon. They could build their own Web3 thing if they wanted, surely. Why team up with Yuga, the sort of established leaders in that metaverse space? Just for the guaranteed hype.
Well, the hype factor is definitely part of it. You can't deny that. Yuga brings instant credibility and buzz in that world. That critique is fair. But there were huge technical upsides, too.
Like what?
Look at the bigger picture. Amazon basically bought a shortcut. They avoided potentially years of development and, frankly, massive technical debt. Yuga already had the infrastructure ready to go.
Infrastructure meaning?
Meaning the Otherside SDK, the software development kit. That means these Boximus avatars weren't just pictures. They had immediate potential utility within Yuga's existing metaverse, Otherside. Interoperability from day one.
Ah, okay. So Amazon didn't have to build the whole metaverse connection themselves. They just plugged into Yuga's existing system.
Exactly. They paid for speed and proven tech. And more than just the world itself, Yuga brought expertise in access control. Things like token gating.
Explain token gating quickly.
It just means using the NFT like a key. You own this Boximus NFT, therefore you get access to this exclusive digital space, or this future product drop, or this special feature. Yuga knows how to do that already.
So Amazon got to test out digital membership and loyalty concepts instantly without building the tech, while Yuga got, massive exposure on Amazon.
A global retail stage, yeah. You can't really buy that kind of visibility. So this is huge. It's Amazon directly selling these assets for the first time. It signals, it signals that big tech isn't ditching blockchain or NFTs.
They're just rebranding it.
Embedding it. Exactly. Rebranding, embedding it into things people already do, entertainment, shopping. It's moving away from just, hey, look at my expensive ape picture, towards digital items that do something, that represent your identity online in useful ways, seamlessly.
Okay, so Boximus sells out. Amazon gets all this data on who bought it and why. But what happened next? Talk about the secondary market, because that's where you really see the speculation kick in, right?
Oh, yeah. The secondary market lit up almost immediately. It was like watching a classic NFT hype cycle replay, but this time Amazon was the one running the show and collecting all the data.
So people were flipping the Boximus avatars.
Instantly, within hours of the main sale ending, they were popping up on secondary marketplaces. And the prices, depending on which specific Boximus design you got the rarity, were way up. Early reports were talking 2x, even 4x the original $65.99. And this proves that, yes, speculation is still a massive driver in the early stages of these drops. But the really fascinating part is what Amazon learned from watching this unfold. They now have hard, quantifiable data on their customer base, how fast they react to digital scarcity, how much extra they're willing to pay for something exclusive or rare, even if it's just a digital box character. That kind of behavioral data linked directly to digital ownership, it's priceless for them.
It really does sound like they weren't just selling collectibles. They were buying a map for future digital loyalty programs or something.
That's a good way to put it. And speaking of value and visibility in this digital space, there was actually a really interesting sort of meta note in our source materials.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
It was an excerpt from another show, apparently called the Crypto Robot Podcast. And it was talking very directly about how crucial audience engagement is for content creators in this space.
How so?
Well, this source explicitly said that things like comments, subscribes, likes, they're essential to get noticed by the algorithms, to keep being able to cover, and I think the quote was, these wild crossovers between big tech and Web3.
Wow. So it's like a reflection of the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazon uses scarcity and hype to drive engagement with a digital product.
Mm-hmm.
And the people analyzing Amazon doing that, they need engagement just to stay visible and keep analyzing. It's all about the algorithm, the struggle for attention, whether you're selling Boximus or talking about Boximus.
It really governs everything now, doesn't it? That fight for visibility.
Okay, let's pull back to the bigger picture then.
Oh.
Mass adoption. How does a giant like Amazon actually get millions of regular people, folks who, like you said, don't have crypto wallets, maybe don't even know what blockchain is, to start owning digital stuff? Boximus feels like a big step there.
It really does, and it comes back to that idea of the trust bridge. Amazon's main goal here, it seems, was to hide all the complicated Web3 stuff, abstract it away.
How do they do that technically?
Primarily using what are called custodial wallets. Basically, Amazon, likely working with payment partners, holds the NFT for the user in a simplified way. The user just pays with their credit card, like buying anything else on Amazon.
So no complex setup, no buying crypto first.
None of that. They completely bypassed the biggest hurdles. You didn't need to understand self-custody or seed phrases or gas fees. Millions of people just bought an NFT, probably without even realizing the underlying tech was blockchain. That is what a mass adoption moment looks like.
And it shifts the whole story, doesn't it? Away from just speculative trading, more towards, well, utility. Digital identity, maybe even loyalty.
Precisely. We're moving past the era of just profile pictures being the main thing. These Web3 assets are evolving. They're becoming about identity, about access, about working across different platforms. Boximus isn't just a picture. It's potentially an access key, a digital identity layer within Otherside, maybe eventually usable in games or VR shopping. Who knows?
And we're seeing this trend elsewhere too, right? Amazon isn't operating in a vacuum here.
Yeah.
How does Boximus stack up against what, say, Nike or Starbucks are doing in Web3?
Yeah, there's definitely a common thread emerging. It's all about using digital identity and ownership as a kind of next-level loyalty program.
Right.
Well, you've got Nike with RTFKT and their CloneX avatars that's defining digital fashion and exclusive community access. Starbucks has their Odyssey program using blockchain stamps, which are basically NFTs, to reward coffee purchases and unlock unique experiences.
Right, the coffee journeys.
Exactly. And Disney's been working with Dapper Labs on collectibles that act as gateways. So the pattern is using digital items not just to sell, but to engage and reward loyalty over the long term. Boximus is Amazon's flavor of that. Yeah. Using a digital collectible potentially as a key to unlock perks within their massive retail ecosystem, digital ownership as next-gen customer engagement.
So wrapping this deep dive up, The big takeaway seems to be that the Boximus drop wasn't just Amazon selling some quirky digital boxes.
Yeah.
It was really a masterclass in strategic data gathering. They partnered smart with Yuga for speed and utility. They made it incredibly easy for regular people to buy in, hiding the scary crypto stuff. And in doing so, they dragged digital ownership firmly into the mainstream shopping experience. It really validates brand power and ease of use as the keys to the next phase of Web3, doesn't it?
That's absolutely the critical point. Big tech is stepping in, but very much on their own terms. They're shaping what digital scarcity and digital identity mean for their millions, billions of users. And, circling back to that meta point from our sources, the ability for shows like this, for analysts, for anyone trying to make sense of these huge shifts, our ability to keep tracking these wild crossovers, as they put it, really does depend on engagement.
That's so true. So if you found this deep dive valuable, if you enjoyed unpacking Boximus with us, honestly, take a second to hit subscribe, maybe leave a comment with your thoughts or share this. It genuinely helps us out. It tells the algorithms that this analysis is useful, and that lets us keep doing this work. Your engagement really does make a difference.
Absolutely. And that actually leads nicely into our final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Amazon's clearly dipped its toes into digital identity and scarcity now, and it worked. So the question is, how long until we see something like NFT-linked Amazon Prime benefits? Or maybe actual metaverse shopping experiences integrated into Amazon? Is that the next logical step?
And maybe even more interesting, who follows them? Which other big tech titan jumps into the direct digital asset game next? A social media platform, a massive food or drinks company.
Lots to think about.
Definitely. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this corporate adoption wave unfolds. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.